honored to introduce Honorable Ambassador Taranjit Singh Sandhu. He is one of the few diplomats who have significant influence in the United States. By representing India in three different capacities, in three phases, first as a first secretary, then deputy chief of commission, and now as the ambassador of India. Over a decade, he has been instrumental behind the successful Indo-US relations. I had a personal fortune to work under his guidance when we hosted Prime Minister Modi ji at Silicon Valley. I see him as a man of passion and strategic action. I would like to welcome Ambassador Taranjit Singh Sandhu.
Thank you, Khanderao-ji, and dear friends. I'm delighted to be here with you today. Firstly, I compliment the Foundation for India and Indian Diaspora Studies for coming out with this survey on the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian American community. The 4 million strong Indian American community in the United States is an important bridge between our two countries. Indian Americans occupy important positions in various walks of life, including business, academia, research, institutions, professionals, medicine, and energy. You are important stakeholders in our relationship with the United States. The Indian diaspora has played an important role of projecting a positive image of India as a vibrant, democratic, and pluralistic society and a valuable partner for the United States. The COVID-19 pandemic has been an unprecedented challenge across the world. After an early lockdown, restrictions have been lifted in India, except for the containment zones where the number of active cases are still high. Economic activity has resumed in other parts of the country. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, India took early and decisive steps which helped to delay the spread of the virus. We have a high recovery rate, almost above 60%, and a low death rate. We are also testing over 215,000 samples every day. More than 1,000 labs across India are involved in this exercise. COVID-19 has had a catastrophic impact on the global economy. Governments across the world are focused on pandemic response and recovery and in evolving strategies to mitigate the negative impact of the pandemic on the economy and employment. The Indian American community has demonstrated resilience and remarkable ability to fight in this crisis. You have also been supporting your local communities in different ways. I am aware that some organizations have set up helplines. Others are making and supplying masks and other assistance. The spirit of community service that you have demonstrated is commendable. There is widespread recognition of the important contribution of the Indian American community. I have been speaking to many congressmen and senators from both the parties, and they highly appreciate your contributions. In India too, our leadership is focused on economic recovery and mitigating the impact of COVID on the common people. Prime Minister Modi has given the call for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our leadership has announced a stimulus package of more than $265 billion and a comprehensive set of economic reforms focused on agriculture, labor, FDI reforms, defense manufacturing, mining, civil aviation, space, atomic energy, and infrastructure, and much more. Our focus is on attracting investments and spurring economic growth and employment. The United States is a critical partner in our bold agenda for development. As global strategic partners, India and United States have close cooperation in all spheres of human activity. President Trump's visit to India in February this year elevated our partnership to a global comprehensive strategic partnership. This reflects the desire of both countries to work closely together on a range of areas. The relations between India and United States are underpinned by shared values of democracy, freedom of speech, and rule of law. India-US relationship has also enjoyed bipartisan support over the years. During the pandemic, India and United States have been collaborating closely, especially in health and sciences. Our pharmaceutical companies are working closely together for co-development of a vaccine. There are at least 3 such collaborations. As you know, Gilead has entered into an agreement with 7 Indian pharmaceutical companies to manufacture and distribute remdesivir, which has been authorized in treatment of COVID-19. India has been a reliable partner during this crisis and stepped up the supply medicines and equipment to over 100 countries, including the United States. Closer cooperation in health, life sciences, technology will be the way forward. The pandemic has created a new normal. It has posed challenges in terms of movement of stranded Indians. Our embassy and consulates have been working round the clock to assist people who were stranded during the lockdown. Our government, as you know, has undertaken the largest evacuation exercise in the history to bring back Indians stranded from all over the world. Since 7th May, more than 50 flights have departed from United States. Another 30 such flights are planned during this month. Based on the feedback from the community, the government has also relaxed the travel restrictions on OCI cardholders, with specific categories being allowed to travel on the Vande Bharat flights. Our embassy and consulates have been in regular touch with the network of community, social, religious, and cultural organizations to provide support to the stranded Indians during the pandemic. The Indian American community has come forward with enthusiasm to help students and other stranded Indians with food, lodging, and other support. We deeply appreciate their help and support. As I mentioned, the Indian American community is an important stakeholder in our relationship with the United States. I commend the important work that you have been doing in building our partnership. I would once again like to thank you for having me here today, and I wish you and your families good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Taranjit Singh Sandhu ji. So you have covered very well both how India is effectively handling the COVID-19 scenario, and also graciously mentioned about Indo-American communities' participation in helping the mainstream community in this COVID-19. Your thoughts covering various topics has been very much educating to all of us. So once again, I thank you.